Hey, do you recognize this? This is that shirt that I got from the thrift shop, and it was like $4 or something. But I got it and I didn't realize it had little holes in it. I decided not to throw it away. I can use it for my little hair thing. What is this? Is that the tag coming out? What are the chances? It'll do so I can talk to you. And I also like to put like this part like back here, like I've got like this big bun thing going on. I love that. But we're gonna work out. And so at some point I'm gonna be laying down, and so I don't want anything back here. Especially right now with like this part of my base of my skull feeling all like inflamed and hurty. I don't really want anything big back there touching it and putting pressure on it anyways. These headache things are really bad for me. Usually I'm shaking, I can't like use my body, my words, my breathing is really difficult. But that shouldn't come as a surprise to you if you are anything familiar with dysautonomia. So, you know, because my nervous system is all messed up and I've got this shoulder here right where that's right, my actual physical nerve, vagus nerve, the nerve of it all. Right now, I'm not having as bad of an episode, so I'm going to talk to you. But if I don't do something about it, it is going to get progressively worse and intenser, and I'm not going to be able to talk, move, sit up, open my eyes, listen to any sort of sound, smells, anything, and I will have a hard time regulating my breathing and blah, 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 blah. So we will ask my husband to rub this out, but because we're in the phase and in the land of healing, we're going to try something different. Every once in a while when I get these, I try something a little bit different to see if I can get it to go away even faster, even better, to see if I can stop it before it gets really bad, all of the things. Your shoulders are one of the biggest places that requires or relies on that tissue, that ligament stuff. Same thing with your whole pelvic region, right? Isn't that right? I don't know. I'm really not a doctor, physical therapist, or really anyone, because I was homeschooled and I skipped a lot of biology because I was like, not gonna become a doctor. Little did I know I had to become a little mini one to keep alive. Yes, I did. The point of the story is I'm gonna work out. I've got my little video right here. Get up, get off the bed. Where am I gonna stick this? Got this sweatshirt to put my head down on. That's how you work out without having a gym, my friend. Just have clothes. Anyways, okay, for this first video, I also am going to be using these little baby barbells. I'm pretty sure they're only 2 pounds. Isn't that what it means when you have the like little number on there? That's a 2. 2 2-pound weights, and they're yellow and they look great with my outfit. I did work up to this, and I'll tell you, this is what I did before. I did things and I just practiced holding, right? I just was like, let me pretend I'm holding something. And then when I felt like I could go up, I tried a bottle of water with just a little bit of water in it. This is what I would do. I would work all the way up like a full-size bottle of water. You get where I'm going here. But now I am at a point where I can be really cool and just like all the other gym bros and use weights. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Ugh. I would also like to say that this particular exercise video that I'm doing is off of a perimenopause. It's called a perimenopause workout, 20 minutes or something. It's really only like 15 because she talks a lot, if you ask me. I mean, she doesn't talk that much, but you know. Oh, and that's what it is. There's one exercise that I skip. She does like the cat-cow, you know, and I seem to not be able to do that particular thing, which is fine because there's more than one way to peel a potato. That's right. So I can still get the benefits of what that exercise does by doing a completely different exercise. It's not necessary for me to do that one. So I do skip that one, and then she like kind of talks you through a little bit of things in the beginning and as she's doing stuff. So when I do it, I'm like, yeah, this is like closer to 15 minutes for me, which we love. Usually it's the other way around. I'm like, I need a second. I need to do this one more time, or I'm doing it slow. They're like, let's do 5 of these. And I'm like, I'm only at 3 and you're already done. Give me a second. Pause the video. Pause the video. Whoa. I would like to say that even though I've been doing this particular workout and been working out, and like I can do girl push-ups now, like I'm really on my way. Even though I feel like I've done a lot of progression, like even doing this now, I am shaking a little bit. I'm like, ooh, 2 pounds feels more like 10. Ugh. Skip the commercial. and then go back to my workout. I guess I could work out during the commercial. Tara, what's a little extra? Oh, I'll tell you. It's something. All right, we're gonna switch feet here. We're gonna put all our weight on this foot back, and put this one up there like this. Oh, what? Oh, put your hands in the air. Like, just don't. I care. I care very much. Ooh. Ooh, girl. Anyways, this is one of the videos that I found that I can do any day, whether I'm feeling good or not. And I feel better afterwards. Like, no matter what's wrong with me, when I'm done with this, I feel better. And I do not like have any backlash. Obviously, I guess if I'm saying I'm doing even better. So I really like this particular video. Also, there are certain times, like as a lady, you know, you cycle, you have different phases each week of, you know, a 30-day, 28-day cycle. And that can change. Like, you can have different chemicals like relaxin in your body. And for me, relaxin seems to make me feel a whole lot worse. Ooh, this is the lunges. This is really good because they say that one of the things that's wrong with me is my psoas. That's not how you say it, but you know, there's a P in there, and I'm not cool with just ignoring letters. I'm just kidding. Okay, so psoas muscle, and this is somewhat helpful doing like little lungey things. You're supposed to like lean forward or something a little bit more when you do it for your internal rotation. And that's really important because I have another whole episode thing that happens because of my weak internal rotation and my outer rotation, and they'll get stuck either one way or the other, in or out. It gets stuck and it pulls a lot and it messes with my digestion. Ooh, we're doing a lunge here. I'm going down. I'm going down. Actually, I'm gonna go all the way down. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Nice and easy. Anyways, what I was saying earlier is that this is like a perimenopause video, and I think it's funny because I'm like, perimenopause, what am I, like 15? Why am I doing a video like that? But actually, I think perimenopause can start rearing its head when you're like 35 or something. I saw that number somewhere, and I was like, girl, okay, never mind. But really, the funny thing is that even though this video is a workout video from a workout person for perimenopause, it's really just like, you know, you just work out. That's really what it is. That's how she begins the video, basically. It's like, you just need, ooh, sorry, I gotta switch legs there. And apparently I need to grunt and groan for that. Ugh. I'm trying not to grunt and groan. I do a lot of grunt and groaning and when I work out. My husband always laughs at me. You know, I guess he's laughing with me if I was laughing. And then he's always like, I wish that I could film this. It's just so funny. You're making such funny noises. So I'm like, stop laughing at me. Just kidding. We're the couple that's really silly and laughs. So, you know, I call him in for the grunts and groans. I'm like, come watch me work out and grunt and groan as I try to lift a water bottle. Look, sometimes I'm like, man, my life is weird and sad. And sometimes I'm like, come on, that's kind of funny. Ugh. I also recently got, I have to tell you this story. I also recently got a walking pad. Hang on, we're starting to move to the ground, you know? We're like getting closer and closer to the ground in this exercise. So let me see if I can move you, because otherwise I'm gonna be down here. Okay, hi, you can see me. This is my, I feel like this is really ugly, but this is my, I just like, it's my watch. And I need it to be charged because I need to know what's going on inside of me at all times. Just kidding. I mostly just use it for my HRV, tracking my HRV, which if you don't know what that is, that was a game changer for me, honey. Game changer. I also have my little bands here, which I don't think I'm going to use actually for this exercise. I do think I need, I think I need my little foam roller. You can use a pillow for this one that we're going to do in a minute. So hang on again. One more second. Let me go grab my foam roller. Okay, got it. I just happen to have one of these. Like, they were like, oh, if you have a foam roller or a pillow. And I was like, I actually do have a foam roller sitting in the back of my closet for no reason. I didn't buy it. I just have it. You know how like some things just appear in your life? And you're like, where did you come from? I did not buy you. This is one of those things. So Oh, actually, can we just hide the cord? Look at that, we're gonna hide the cord. Can I still work out with this here? Like, I'm like, put myself in like between the wall and my bed. What am I doing? Sometimes the choices I make, I'm like, girl, I know you have a brain behind that huge sock bun thing. I don't think this is a sock bun. Please know that I know that. I just don't know what words are, and I'm just gonna go with whatever I can get. All right, so we're on all fours here. One of the things that I like to do whenever I get on all fours is I like to just do a little round. You can go like really, really tight, or you can go a little bit bigger, you know, and just kind of like hit on all places. Because remember, muscles and things, I like them to be dynamic, right? I don't want to just work on one muscle in one place in one position, especially for my body, which needs muscles like everywhere for everything to be able to be used. And that's what I want, is a body I can use. And I want to be able to do dynamic things. So I need a dynamic body. We do dynamic movements. Yes, we do. I love this. I don't know why, but I really do. I'm also, I don't know if you can see, I have my leg lifted, my opposite leg from the opposite hand in the back, and I can even pulsate it, and you can even like make it go really high, right? And then kind of lower yourself here, which is going to work on your arms more. It's like a weirdy push-uppy thing. There's names for all of this stuff. Like, again, I'm not a professional. I just need to be able to do these things to live, which I think should make me some sort of professional, you know? Like, I'm doing this with a much heavier weight. I'm not like, oh, I want to do this for money, or oh, I want to do this so I'm good at it, become like an Olympian, win awards, you know, do little like workout shows, you know, where they go and like they pose and get rated and stuff like that. No, I'm like, it's a much heavier mission. Wow. If I can't do this stuff and do it well, do it right, do it a lot, understand what I'm doing, especially to a certain degree, like, I'm not going to live a comfortable life. I'm not going to live life, you know, for me. If I spend a couple of days in bed, I go downhill real quick and I will end up right back in the hospital. So I have to get up and move, or have exercise to do from my bed if I really can't get out of my bed for some reason. But, you know, like this is my life. I have to do this if I want to live. Woo. I feel like I'm in the place that I'm working out enough and doing these particular videos enough that I should not be feeling it this much. This should be easy. It's not easy today. It's not easy today. Doesn't mean I'm not making great progress or that it won't be easy tomorrow. It's just not as easy today. That's fine. The real mission for today is to do it. The end. So I'm already a winner. I've completed my mission. I am successful in life. Not only is it just to do it, that's not just the mission, but it's to do it. And hopefully for my shoulders to feel better, for me to feel better today. If I sit just in bed and chill with my shoulders hurting like this, which might be exactly what it like my body feels like. It's like, oh, just lay down and rest. We can barely even breathe. If I don't do the little exercises, and right now I'm at a point where I do more than just the little exercises, I'll just get worse and worse and worse. The breathing will get worse and worse and worse. So I have to do the hard thing that it almost feels like counterintuitive to do to be able to get better and be fine-ish. Give it a couple hours and I'll be fine-ish, you know? And I don't have to take any medicine. You know, I don't have to take ibuprofen or Tylenol or anything like that, which is great because, to be honest, right after I got out of the hospital, my kidneys and my acid levels and my liver were not doing so hot. So even just taking Tylenol, I was in excruciating pain. One of the worst pains that I've ever been in. And same thing with the ibuprofen. I tried both things over time, and I just couldn't take them without, feeling like awful. Lots of pain and sickness. And that lasted probably for about a year, to be honest. And then I was like doing more stuff for my liver. I was doing a lot of like green juices and stuff like that. I was balancing my electrolytes, trying really hard. And then my hormones seemed to start balancing a little bit better as well, somewhere within there. Oh, I started working out, walking with my internal, external rotation for my legs and mind. So when I did that, that was like it flipped a switch for my hormones, and I gained a whole bunch of weight all of a sudden, which for me was like my weight when I was younger, like all growing up. Like I was I was a little bit more curvy. I had a solid build. And then one day I didn't feel so well and I just lost all the weight. Like I was skinnier than I had thought I could ever be for my body. And I could not gain it back. I'm a big eater. Working out, could not get it back for a few years. But once I started working on that internal external rotation, bada bing, bada boom, she was back. She was sassy. Yeah, my hormones were hormoning much better. And I'm still working on them. They're still changing, doing stuff. So I also apparently didn't have like full feeling. It's like crazy because it's like you don't know what you don't know. And I didn't know that I didn't have feeling. I thought I just had feeling. But I didn't have feeling in certain places in my body that after I started working on my internal external rotation, I did have. So that was interesting. I told all of my doctors, I was like, guys, I can feel things I've never felt before. Anyways, back to the Tylenol, ibuprofen thing. Yeah, I couldn't really take those for a while. I kept trying every once in a while and trying to figure it out, but it was just, my body wasn't in the place. So for a while, I definitely had to lean on and find some other methods of being able to be comfortable and fixing things so that I didn't need to take the medicine or didn't feel like I needed to take the medicine. But it's nice to have the option, and it's obviously good to have a body and a place where I could take those, like it means that my body's healing and doing better. But overall, I don't really need to take it now, which is kind of cool. It's an option now instead of something that I didn't have an option to do. Anyways, let me go ahead and finish this. I have to get on my back now. And I don't know where else to put this. However, I am feeling better. As you can see, I can still talk. I can still talk throughout all of the things. I am like talking a little skippy, I can tell. And I'm a little bit, but I can talk. And that's important. And I feel like out in life, someone probably wouldn't really notice to be like, oh, are you dying? Which is important to me because I don't always want someone I'm talking to, especially strangers, to know that I'm having a difficult time. There are times as a little tiny baby woman, I'm petite, I'm just a girl, that I don't want to feel even more vulnerable than I am. I don't want to feel as vulnerable as I actually am as someone who is chronically ill, sick, can't really do much back. So, I have like all my stuff with me and I have my husband with me, but still, there are situations where I want to be able to talk to someone else and have the confidence and give off the vibe. Although I will say there is something for being able to like go out and like have my mask and my walker, be in my wheelchair or whatever. And even if I'm not feeling completely like I need my walker for walking in and out of Walmart, like I'm like, I could leave it in the car. Sometimes I take it just for that extra like visual, like, because I'm not missing a limb. It's not very apparent. And even if it was, people don't always really pay that much attention. They're not looking at you going, how am I supposed to interact with you? Like, is there something wrong with you? Am I supposed to have a 3 feet distance? No, they're like, I'm going here, I'm doing this. They're on their head thinking about what Sarah said to Alex yesterday. And I can't believe the gossip and the juice. I can't wait to tell my boyfriend they're going to break up. That's what they're thinking about. How am I going to pay my bills? What's going on? I can't believe so-and-so said this to me. I'm so offended. They're not thinking about you. They're going to bump into you and just be like, oh, sorry, But if you have like a cane and you have a thing and, then it might be a little bit, they might grab their kid who's running around and be like, oh, don't run near them, something like that, so that they don't knock you over, which is good because, I can say from here to how I was when I was a teenager, my balance is not as good. I'm not going to catch myself as easily if a kid runs into me, not to mention that I shouldn't have to deal with that in the first place. So, not that, like I shouldn't have to, like it's life, and kids are kids and they're just living life. But if you have a cane, they might see it, their parent might see it, make a thing. And I live in a place, I would also like to say this because I see people talking about like not wanting to use aids and stuff, even when they really need it. Like I needed to be in a wheelchair for a while. And they're talking about it because they don't want to like be embarrassed or be seen or have people say things to them. And I felt more like I didn't want to use it because I was like, well, I don't need it. Like I can walk. Like I have 2 legs and they can get me from here to there. I don't need a wheelchair. That's for other, the other people need it in the grocery store. I shouldn't be using it. Or if I have my own, then I'm like, well, that's a lot of hassle and I can make it. And I really did need to change my mind, and I feel like it would have been like a process of me having to like think about and overchange my opinions about like, well, just because I can make it or I don't need it, like, why am I making my life that's already so difficult and hard and uncomfortable more difficult, more hard, more uncomfortable, you know, and putting myself more in a situation where I might end up like, you know, on the other side of it, might end up laying in the middle of a grocery store aisle, just flat on my back, random people walking by, maybe even people that I know running into me, and they're like, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, I just can't walk. I just need like 5 minutes. I'm just gonna lay here and then I'll get up. And they're like, okay, cool. And they go about their life. But that might not needed to have happened if I had just used the wheelchair, you know? So I feel like that would have really taken me a minute and a couple of bad situations like that before I figured it out. But when I, you know, applied for disability and was going for the disabled things, and you know what, I can tell you the exact moment. I went to my doctor, and just like my normal practitioner, I have a diagnostician, you know, like on the TV shows that you see. They're like, ooh, this person has something crazy, no one can figure it out, we got to send them to the special doctor, the diagnostician. Those are real. I have a diagnostician, and I also went to like a naturopathic doctors and things like that. But the doctor that I settled on, was going with and appreciated and was working well with me where I was the diagnostician. Cannot say the word. Let's just pretend I am saying it, and I'm just going to keep going. So I'm sitting there with my doctor, and I had been going to all of the specialists and the cardiologist and things for certain tests, and then I had also gone to like this functional doctor because they ran tests and did all of these things that these like more conventional doctors can't really run. So I had them run those tests, did it with them, and then I bring it to the diagnostician and we talk about things, whatever. And I can take like the functional doctor would be like, this is what we think for you. But you know, I'm a little mini doctor myself at this point. And so if they give me the results, I can usually figure out what I want. Also, I have like learning things, and I found people who specialized in those things, so I can move from just like a functional doctor to someone who is specialized in dysautonomia, someone who is specialized in hypermobility, someone who is specialized in, you know, the hormones, and the lady with these particular things in mind and worked with them and knows these things. You know, I can go to a geneticist, all the things. So there, you know, for me, it was more of a stepping stone, and I needed you for these things that ended up being for the functional doctor. And the diagnostician can help, you know, with insurance, refer me everywhere, get everything done, run other tests that I want on like a regular basis, or to check with my levels, to keep up with everything and have a handle, like you went here, you went here, you went here. I also think you should go here. And, you know, I told you to go to this doctor, but I think we should reprioritize with how things have been going. You should go to this doctor first and prioritize that. All of the things. Anyways, so I'm sitting there telling her like what I've got from you know, updating her from these people, from that. I, you know, was in the hospital a lot at the time, so I was telling her what was happening the last time that I was in the ER, while I was there, what they said, and then she was like, well, let's do this and this afterwards. And I remember being there and her signing some stuff, and she's writing down, doing a whole bunch of stuff as I'm talking, and then she hands me a piece of paper, and she's like, this is for your disability plaque. And I was like, what? So she gave me the thing for when you park your car and you have a little handicap thing. She's like, this is for your handicap thing. I did not ask for it. And I was like, I don't need this. That was my first reaction, was like, well, I don't need this. Like, I can make it, you know? And let me tell you, I'm embarrassed to say, you know, I say I don't get embarrassed. I am embarrassed for you to know this. In my mind, I was going, if something happens, my husband can carry me out, because my husband had many a times. I'm just like, I just asked my husband to like grab me, and I'm like, okay, I can't walk anymore. I just need you to grab me and get me to the car, and we're going home. First of all, why am I putting that on my husband? Second of all, like, yeah, it's cute and romantic, and they do in the fairy tales, but not in real life. It's not as cute and romantic. People stare, and I'm like, isn't he cute? He's holding me and I'm dying. People call the police. People go, did that man just roofie you? Even though I'm still like talking and I'm fine. I'm like, hey, thanks, whatever, you know, because people like open doors or whatever. We had this one time, I have to tell you, we had this one time that I was having a horrible episode. We were like an hour away from home, which is the worst. Getting stuck when you have like a chronic illness or an episode or disability, and it's like something's happening and you're nowhere near home, or maybe you are near home. I've been near home and just not made it home, you know, and I like have to have people come get me and bring me home. Or in this case, my husband was with me, and I was like, we were in the middle of like hanging out, and I was like, everyone stop talking, you get in the car, we got to go now, right? So we're in the car, we've made it, I'm laying in the back of the car, which, you know, I like to be better safe than sorry, and laying in the back of the car does not feel like the safest thing for me. So I'm already just like a little bit extra stressed on top of whatever's happening, and I'm like groaning, and I'm turning, and I'm like, you need to get off. We're on the highway because we're far from home. I'm like, you need to get off the highway, you need to get to anything, anywhere, I need to get to a bathroom, right? So we pull off, where first thing is like a hotel. That's fine, they have bathrooms in the lobby. He carries me inside, we stop at the desk, I'm like, stop at the lobby. I can barely talk, but I'm like trying to like, you know, give direction, because this is very early days, right? So he's not like, I'm your caregiver, I understand. We're just like two people trying to figure it out, okay? So we stop at the lobby, and I'm like, it's like late at night too, so there's not like a lot of people, but I'm like, stop at the lobby, talk to the lady, and tell them like, can we use the bathroom? Where is it? We just got a thing, you know, like, so they're not alarmed, they know what's going on, whatever. Like I knew that much from just dealing with myself before. Anyway, so I'm like, we stop, and I'm like, and I'm standing there for a second, and I'm like, thank you. I make sure to say something and like, you know, have manners to this lobby lady, this cute little girl, and she's like, the bathroom, and I'm like, thank you so much. My husband gets me to the bathroom. We're in there. We're not in there for a super long time. And then we come out, and like, he's like, thank you so much, thank you so much. My husband's super mannerly, and like, he's like, ah, da, da. And so I'm like waving, and I'm like, thank you, thank you. And then we get to the car. We drive home. We eventually make it home. It's a treacherous drive home. It's one of the worst experiences that I have. Like, I'm telling you this story, but like this actual day was one of the worst symptoms and stuff that I had. I kind of wish that I had gone to the doctor that day, because I'm pretty sure I was having really bad acid. My levels were really high acid-wise, and they would have seen it. And I had gone to the emergency room a couple times before this, and they hadn't seen those things, you know. Hindsight 2020. Anyways, so we're in the car, we finally make it home. I'm just laying in bed, and I'm just like, ugh. Like I'm traumatized. My body feels just like, I didn't know I could be in this much pain. I didn't know my life was going to be this hard when I woke up this morning, and I'm just laying in bed full of regret and stress and just like, what's happening, and everything hurts, and I'm like, huh, and I couldn't like get myself to feel better and all these things. And we get a call from where my husband used to live. And those people are like, it's 2 a.m. We just got like woken up. The police are banging on their door. They're looking for you. They're looking for you. To my husband, right? So then we get a call from the police. They're like, we gave them your number, right? So now we're getting the call from the police. We're like, okay, bye. Getting the call from the police. The police are like, we need to talk to so-and-so, da-da-da-da. And then they're talking to my husband. They're like, we need to talk to you, da-da-da. We're looking for the girl. We're looking for the girl. They're looking for me. They were like, we need to hear from them. So I'm like already like feeling awful, and I have to get on the phone to talk to these strangers. Understandable, you know, they're doing the right thing. They're looking out. They're trying to make sure I'm alive. And I'm like, no, I'm here, I'm okay. And they're like, we saw you on the cameras, blah, 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 blah. We need to, da, da, da. Like, you need to. And I'm like, I'm just not feeling well. I'm just not feeling well. And they're like, you need to go to the hospital and all these things. And I'm like, you don't know me from Adam. I'm not going to I'd already gone to the emergency room quite a bit this year. Like, it had been like a year before, and it was not helping. It was worse going to the hospital, to be honest. You might relate to that kind of experience. Anyways, so I'm like, I'm not going, there's no reason for me to go. I don't really know what to do, really, to be honest. But I'm like, there's no reason I'm not going to go. You're not going to find me at that. You know, so we're like having to convince these police officers that I'm okay, right? So what had happened is I was carried into that place, and that little lobby girl, oh my goodness, bless her heart, she's a girl's girl. She's looking out. She was like, just in case something seems wrong, she calls the police. She uses the cameras to find us walking outside to the car. They can look up our license plate, right? So they find, it was my husband's car, so they find my husband, right? And then they're trying to find me. So they're calling, they're like, did you, to make sure I'm okay. And then I wasn't like being abducted. And I'm like, no, I was okay. I was just doing the best that I could, man. I'm just doing my best. So things like that can happen. Yeah. So maybe that shouldn't have been my first thought was, oh, it's fine. My husband didn't just carry me out. So anyways, the doctor gives me this placard, and I'm like, I don't need it. I don't need it. We get home. By the time we're home and doing the things, I'm like, well, here's the thing. I need to trust or at least send in the paperwork, because that doesn't hurt. I don't even have to use I can go to any parking lot I want and park wherever I want. I don't need to park in handicap just because I have a handicap license plate or whatever. So I'm like, you know what, I will do it. I'll send it in. And then it's like, you know, thank goodness for me and my husband being able to talk, because my husband has a brain. And he like sometimes hits me with logic that I'm like, how did I not think that, you know? And he's like, if your doctor has been seeing you know and says this and gives it to you, she's the one that would know, right? Like, it's not like you asked and she was like, oh, okay. Or she asked and you was like, do you really think you need it or what? It was like I'm giving this to you, you can send it in, da 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 da, you know? And then I think in the beginning, like, you get the placard and then you get it again for even longer, and then you get I don't really know how it works, but I got the thing that sits in the window, and it was like good for like 6 months, and then you get it again and it's good for like 2 years. So the next time after it, you know, went away after 6 months, I'm talking to her and she's been caught up on the things and where I'm at, I'm doing a little bit better. Like, I'm out of the emergency room at this point. At this point, I think I had gone to the hospital and gotten like the dysautonomia, the hypermobility. That's where we are. You need to go to people like that. So I was already like stabilizing a little bit better and on my way up. I had gotten better with my sodium and my electrolytes and had been able to find something that works really well and to continue with that. So I think I was doing better at this point. I think I'd also like gained my weight, and, you know, like I was like, oh, I'm too hot to trot. That's how I felt at the time. Wow. I wish that me could see me now, because girl, I'm too hot to trot now. I can walk all over the place. I can put on my own shoes most of the time. Anyways, okay, so I go into the diagnostician, and it's, you know, I'm telling her all the things. My placard is just expired, about to expire, and I'm like, my placard's gonna expire. I'm like really timid. Like, can I have used it and it has been helpful. So can I get it? Oh, absolutely. I've gotten it'll be in your thing within 2 hours. You'll have it in your little, you know, electronic portal thing within 2 hours to be able to take. It'll be good to go. You'll be able to send it in by the end of the day, for sure. Tomorrow, take it to DMV. I can just send it in the mail. But, you know. And then when I applied, I'm going to go even further with this story. Just this is not connected, but it is connected. Later on, I applied for disability and things like that. And, you know, you tell your doctors and you put on the thing, and my doctor's like, we'll do whatever we can. Absolutely. I'm so glad that you're doing. I was like, I'm applying for disability. I understand. I'm so happy. I'm going to do this and this. And when they call, I'll do this. I'll let you know. I'll send you all of my doctors. And I was seeing my therapist at the time. I had a couple of doctors, and I just like send it like, just to let you know, I'm sending this in, because they can contact them. You put all their information in when you apply for disability, and they contact your doctors and things like that. And they might ask questions, whatever. They might ask for some form, whatever. So I'm like just letting them know ahead of time. And they're all like on board. What can we do? Fine. We've been waiting for this day, is basically. So I'm like, okay. I feel like I'm the crazy one to be like, I don't know if I should. And they're like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? What do you mean you don't know if you're disabled? What do you mean? You know, like, that's how I feel. And so once I got that placard and went, okay, I'm disabled. I have a dynamic disability, right? But once I use the word disabled and me in the same sentence in my head, everything clicked and changed. And I cannot tell you, I mean, I'll try one day, but it changed my brain chemistry. It changes the way I live my life, make my decisions in a great way. It changes the way that I viewed myself when I was younger. And I feel like in such a more healthy way in my mind. Yeah, really. It really does. Anyways, let me go ahead and finish my workout here, because I'm just chatting away and having the best time, but I'm supposed to be working on my shoulder. It feels pretty okay right now. But I know that, you know, I like go to eat and sit in my bed and be eating and then want to sit there for a minute and watch TV, and it's going to get a lot worse. So let me go ahead and finish my workout, and then I'll see you later.